The preliminary race in the work up towards the Vendee Globe that starts at the end of this year. This is going to be one hell of a race. It's 3,500 miles. It'll take the fleet of 21 in Mocha 60s up to Iceland, down to the Azores and then back to where they started off the west coast of France. It promises to be absolutely fascinating. But in the current COVID climate, it's changed the race a bit. For a start, you don't normally see scenes like this before the start of an offshore race. All 21 skippers have been tested for COVID 24 hours before they were due to leave. After having been tested, all the skippers would return to their boats, but not in a centralised race village. Unfortunately, the COVID crisis has meant that that just simply isn't possible. Instead, the boats are all held at various harbours on the west coast of France. Once they're back in their boats, they will head out offshore on Friday afternoon, and basically they'll hang out there until Saturday afternoon and the start. But as they contemplate what lies ahead, and there's certainly some pretty fruity conditions in store for the opening stages of this race, there's also an additional bit of stress as well, because they need to wait for the results of that COVID test. By midday on Saturday, the race organisers are expecting to have the results of those tests, and any skipper that tests positive for COVID will not be allowed to compete in the race. Talk about extra pressure.
To be allowed to start a race, we had to respect a very strong protocol to be sure that the skippers are in good health when they are leaving for the race. And then yes, it's a race without village. It's a race in which the skipper has to be tested before jump on board. And but it's a race. We are here and we are very proud to be one of the first sports that could make a real competition.
We are just waiting here in front of Belle-Île, which is here. We are just drifting with the mainsail to kill some time, and there was a little special rule about this race that we had to leave 24 hours before the start gun, get a corona test for the entire team. The results will all come up tomorrow, and whoever has a positive result will be excluded from the race. So that's why we're waiting around here, and we will be around 12 o'clock tomorrow in the start area, and then at 3:30 is the actual start.
But this is going to be a very interesting race indeed. There's weather systems ganging up in the Atlantic and sweeping across the UK and the western approaches right now, which is going to make the start pretty punchy.
It's a very tough course. Actually, going so north, it's very complicated because the skipper, they will have quite tough condition. It's especially with the last weather forecast, we know that for the next 2 or 3 days they will sail upwind until the Fastnet and along the island coast, which is quite strong seas and very tough place. And then they will go further north, which is not easy because they are going through all the front and not with the front, which makes the weather condition that change very quickly, and then the skipper have to adapt the sail, have to adapt all the fine tuning of the boat very, very quickly. Then it's for sure a very one of the maybe the toughest course we could find starting from France.
Now, in the meantime, here's a short piece put together by Thomas Royant's Linked Out team, which gives a hint of what life's going to be like on board these boats. Still want to do it? Have a great weekend and don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned.